Development, working with the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, have designed a fuel marking and monitoring program to monitor the quality of petroleum products in the entire supply chain. To help us this morning to understand the magnitude of this problem and the dangers it poses to your life as a motorist, the environment, and the health of your car, we are joined by Engineer Kafero Sichitoliko, the Chairperson Parliament's Committee on Infrastructure, and Mr. Charles Agaba, an Inspector at the Ministry. Good morning. Engineer, Honorable, you have asked us not to call you Honorable. Today you're Engineer.
Yeah, surely. Today I'm an engineer.
You have decided to put on your engineer coat.
Exactly. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, I'm happy you invited me.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. How is the ministry doing?
The ministry is okay.
People in ministry are enjoying life. Life is good.
Life is good.
That's very good. It's very good. It would be sad if life is not good.
Yeah, life is good. It has to be in your attitude.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us. Now, fuels in this country. It's a discussion that we usually have when we have troubles. Fuel prices have gone up, they have gone down, or you're having troubles with fuel in your car and you've gone to the mechanic and they are telling you, well, your car is, you got bad fuel from a certain station, and you're thinking, okay, being that I'm no expert in fuel, how would I have known? But the questions still remain. How does there's a lot of adulterated fuel that is on the market. How does it get there? How is it even on the market? What's up with you?
Yeah, that one, I have not said that there is too much adulterated fuel in the market.
Yes.
I object to
but
that
it is
one.
there.
I object to that one.
But it is there.
I object to that one.
Okay.
Because,
it doesn't have to be much, but that it is there.
There was too much adulterated fuel on the market before 2007.
Okay.
Then when we discovered that in 2007, we had to devise ways through which we can curb that. And that's how we started this fuel marking and quality monitoring program, whereby you use markers or use chemicals to lock the fuel once it enters into the country.
Okay.
So chemicals are introduced into the fuel when it reaches the border. We check its quality, compare it with the loading quality. If it is of good quality, then we lock it. We add the chemicals. We allow it to enter into the country. We have monitoring teams which move at every retail station in the country and even depots, checking the markers or the chemicals we introduced into the border, are they still there? If we find when the marker has reduced the concentration, then we seal it there and then we can't really sell that fuel. And I want to assure you that that problem of adulterated fuel has reduced.
But the good thing is you say it has reduced, but you don't say it's not there at all.
No, you can't say it is not there.
Yes.
Yes, because right now we are at less than 1%. And we monitor all retail outlets every month. We reach at every retail outlet in this country.
All right, let's look at what people are saying compared to, of course, you know that there's a lot of, milestones that have been achieved so far. We're talking of 2007, the compliance level was at 32%. Now we're in 2019, compliance level has gone up to 99%. First, congratulations on that. Well, we do have 1% to go to ensure that we are at 100% in terms of fuel quality compliance. What will get us to that level, and what are you doing to ensure that, there's scrupulous dealers, them that are, working in, these rackets to bring in, adulterated fuel in the country are pretty much, stopped and brought to book? Honorable, you can answer that.
Today I didn't come to answer too much of quality control questions.
You want him to take
I think it should take up. I wanted to answer engineering side.
Okay, yeah, thank you. That's why we are coming up with such campaigns to teach the public, for them to know that there is a body in charge of controlling quality of fuel, so that in case of any queries, if you take fuel at your place and your vehicle misbehaves, then come to us. Tell us the station where you took that fuel. We run there immediately. We cross-check to see whether that fuel is clean or not.
When you say come to us, where is us?
Come to Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development or Uganda National Bureau of Standards. Because this program, we run it together. Whichever institution you go to, and you have any queries on fuel, then we shall respond immediately.
I'm sorry, I'm going to, I'm not in any way attacking you, but do you think that you have hidden that information from Ugandans? I am one of those Ugandans, and this is the first time I'm hearing this message from you urging people that in case they take adulterated fuel, they should come to your offices. Have you had a campaign to let Ugandans know that in case of incidents like that, they can come to you?
Yes. We have had campaigns in the whole country, and every 3 months we are in a region. Like right now, this week we are in Central Region. We are moving from station to stations. We are going to TV houses, media houses, teaching the public. And you know, it is a milestone. This is where we have come from, and this is where we are going. So we have raised that much as we have tried our level efforts to control, to curb the adulteration, people are not aware. So that's why you're choosing now a different...
There's something he mentioned.
Yes.
He did say that when your vehicle misbehaves, so now our viewers would like to know why would a vehicle misbehave anyway, having consumed adulterated fuel. Number one...
But even before you get to when it misbehaves, first of all, we want to understand as an engineer, when your car takes adulterated fuel, what are the misbehaviors that it would come up with before we get to that?
I'll explain that, definitely. Right now, I want the viewers to know that for your car to move, an engine must start and run.
Yes.
For an engine to start and run, an air-fuel mixture must burn in the combustion chamber. So, for we call it fuel-air mixture, which must be combusted for an engine to run. So, if an engine has to run efficiently, that air-fuel mixture must be completely burned. If there is no complete combustion, then we're going to have problems. If fuel is adulterated, it is not pure, it will not burn completely. If fuel doesn't burn completely, it will produce black smoke. When you see cars passing by with black smoke, that means it is not consuming all the fuel that was poured there. Some of it is taken out and burnt. So, in the essence, the customer is losing fuel. He took so many liters, he's using just less of it. The rest is burnt out. That unburnt fuel is very dangerous for human beings. You see, it comes out with a lot of carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is regulated by vehicle manufacturers. Most of them say it shouldn't go beyond 1%. 1% carbon monoxide is acceptable. Anything above becomes dangerous to human health because it destroys the lungs. Now, if fuel is not burned, why would fuel not burn completely? When it is adulterated, for example, mixed with paraffin, that could be deliberate. In some countries, they mix it with ethanol in order to reduce on the use of petroleum products. But others adulterate unconsciously in those big tanks at the depots. Due to condensation, there is some water that forms within the fuel, underground tanks. You can never find a tank filled to capacity all the time. Yes, even if you fill it now, as you sail off, it reduces. So if you take long to clean up your tank, there's water that will be formed on the top of the tank. It later on drops into the fuel. So the fuel is actually mixed with water.
And are the people, the players in this sector, are they cognizant of that fact?
These people know. That's why they keep checking the fuel stations, say, when did you last clean your underground tank? They go checking. That's part of their duty.
What's the compliance level with regards to that?
It is not a very big problem with water in the tank because you know water cannot mix with fuel. Water will always be down.
Sure.
So there is no any person who can intentionally put water in the tank. So when we give them advice, maybe every month or every 2 months, get a semi-rotary pump, insert it in your tank, and pump out any water which is there. So they comply.
Okay.
But you know, when it takes there so long and you use all the fuel which is on top, you never know, the pump will suck a little bit of water. That little bit of water will go into somebody's engine. That is very dangerous for the engine. It destroys parts like the fuel injection nozzles, the spark plugs, and other parts of the engine.
Engineer, you say that our vehicles, a car, shouldn't be releasing that black smoke from its exhaust pipe. No. It's a habit that is so much known for diesel cars. And every single time a diesel car starts smoking, the mechanics will tell you, well, the engine has gone old, and as soon as it goes old, it starts bringing out some smoke. And even some don't have to go old. It's sort of a habit for diesel cars. How would you explain that?
Of course, it can be partly explained due to adulterated fuel. The quality of fuel you take matters a lot, but also it goes back to how you maintain your vehicle, because the nozzles for diesel cars, particularly the spray nozzles, are supposed to be tested for how they spray the fuel, at what pressure and spray pattern. It's supposed to be in form of like spray, like just like it doesn't have to be solid or liquid. You understand? It is supposed to be spray, like kind of smoke as it goes into the engine. When it goes into like water droplets, liquid, it becomes too heavy to be burnt completely. So part of it will be burnt and the rest will be taken out into the exhaust pipe. That is the black smoke you see. So the customer is losing fuel. You put in 2 liters, you use only 1. The rest is burnt.
Engineer, as a chairperson for Parliament's Committee on Infrastructure, don't you think it's time that you brought in the mechanics as well? Because what you're explaining now is not something that Mala, an everyday today car owner and driver is going to get into, and it's knowledge that she would expect her mechanic to have.
Of course.
But not all the mechanics in this country have that knowledge. Don't you think it's time that you came up with a system or a way to give them this knowledge so that it can help with the fuel consumption?
Yeah, I think that's very important. As government, we should take up that task. I'm happy that the ministry is already on course in returning everything to do with vehicles, including registration and others, into the ministry. You see, we had given out some of our duties. For example, TURA, they've been registering vehicles. Now government is going to construct a one-stop center for vehicle registrations, also issuing driving permits. And I think from there, we can also engage these mechanics. We let them know how to service these cars, but also how to make sure that systems are cleaned up out of adulterated fuel.
Okay.
Let's talk about matters to do with compliance still. We acknowledge 99% is not, a hard, it's not an easy place to get to. But in terms of moving forward, what is being done to ensure that these retail outlets are, at 100% compliant? Many have been complaining about them being sold to air, the selling of air.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
So how would you explain it, of course, as a regulator who monitors this?
Yeah, actually that there is many people complain. They say that I go into this station and they sold me air. Actually there is a term which they normally use, empeho. And I normally come out and I tell them there is no that word empeho in the fuel chain. That pump can never deliver air.
Then what happens?
A station as a station will never sell to you air. But who sells you air? The person operating the pump.
The individual.
And why does they sell you air? Because you reach at the station, instead of concentrating on what has brought to you, your mind is diverted. That's when you want to look at the phone. And remember, these are hungry people who are paid peanuts, so they get that advantage. There are several ways through which they sell to you air. Here in Uganda, we normally line up for fuel, for example. You come and you want like 10,000 shillings. Then there is a motorcycle person who wants 5,000 shillings. And you've already given your order. Put for me 10,000 shillings. You open the tank. Then you get on the phone. This person will first serve this border person, then 5,000, then turn to you top up 5,000
without resetting the machine.
resetting the machine. You end up taking air.
So that's one.
That's one way. The other way is, what takes you to station is the price you see on the billboard as you're entering the station. So the price on the billboard can be different from the price which is on the pump itself. And remember, the fuel you are buying it at the price which is set at the pump, not at the billboard.
Correct.
So you need to take it to be keen. The price you saw at the billboard should be the price you see at the pump.
But you see, we are a busy lot. By the time I'm checking the billboard and I see the prices, pretty much friendly to my pocket, I drive in and I expect that they're also honest, business people, and that they should be honest, and that whatever it's going to be at the pump will be the same thing that I saw on the billboard. So is UNBS making sure that these two figures tally what they put at the billboard tallies with what is put at the pump?
Yes.
Because that's an offense, so to speak.
It's an offense, actually. That is under Ministry of Energy, so we enforce it. If we discover that the price which is at the billboard is different from the price which is at the pump, we penalize you.
Yeah, but there's also this very common one. He didn't bring it out very clearly. Those young people at the petrol stations are so indisciplined to such a point that when you come, buy fuel for 10,000. Yes, he will give you the fuel, 10,000. But he will not reset the machine, and he will not rest that pump properly. That is very common. So the 10,000, the counter counted up to 10,000. It remained there. It is not reset. When you come and say I need 30,000, for example, and you're not attentive about where it begins from.
From 000.
Yes. This man will just lift it, put it in your car, but it's beginning at 10. You get it? So he will actually sell to you 20,000. The 10,000, he pockets it. It is very common. I almost arrested somebody on one of those petrol stations because I saw him doing it. I said, how much have you put? The man was like, yes, I've put all the fuel. I said, okay, if you're sure you have put all the fuel, now you're under arrest. I'm going with you now. The man trembled and he said, no, let me tell you the truth. Okay, I didn't, but let me put your fuel now. I'm going to lose my job. I said, don't do it. So you need to be very attentive where that counter begins from.
Right.
Let him put it again so that it settles at 0, then he types again. And
you make sure that they reset.
Exactly.
All right.
You in this conversation, you mentioned prices, fuel prices.
Yes, we did.
Is it fair to Ugandans that every petrol station has a different price, yet they are selling the same product, which is petrol or diesel? You go to a certain petrol station and it's 3,490, and then the other is saying 3,470. Don't you think it would be fair for all gas stations in this country to have one price?
Of course, it should be fair for all gas stations to have one price. However, in a liberalized economy like Uganda, it is not easy. We said, okay, let the law of demand and supply, take charge. In a liberalized economy, it works that way. We cannot control prices anymore. Government cannot come and say, okay, it has to be flat, this. However, we at times make strategic interventions as government. You remember when sugar prices were escalated too high, we had to come in. Strategic intervention. We don't do it all the time, but when it necessitates, we do it. But in a liberalized economy, you go to where you're served best.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. As we wrap this up, now that we have you here, probably pose this question to you as well. The transportation of fuel in this country. It's been a question that has been thrown in here and there. We see very many trucks coming into Kampala. We have seen most of these storage places for fuel in Kampala and all these warehouses. And people are a bit scared. These warehouses right in the middle of Kampala, in case of any danger. The transportation of this fuel in this country as well seems not to have that much caution.
Sure.
What is are you doing anything about it? Are you doing anything and the companies are not complying with your requests, or it's okay, let them transport it the best way they can? There's no problem with that.
No, there is a standard for transportation of fuel which is in place, and there is a standard truck which you must use in order to transport fuel. You don't just get in a truck and put the fuel, and people are complying, people are meeting the standard. If you don't meet that standard, then we cannot allow you to transport the fuel. But I want to bring it to the attention of the public that sometimes what they call dangers, like if we see stations, we see selling fuel here and there in the middle of the town, in the middle of the houses, it's not a danger. Even if you touched that fuel station, the upper part will burn, but the fuel down will not burn.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because for fuel to burn, for something it has to be, oxygen must be there. And down there where the fuel is, there is no oxygen. The upper part will burn completely, but fuel will stay down. So it shouldn't be a worry for people.
All right.
Okay.
As we come to a close, Mr. Agaba, I want you to, just educate us today. If I walk into a fuel outlet, a retail outlet, and the billboards figures are not, actually don't tally with what is at the pump, what should I do? What's my first point of action? Do I call your numbers? What will happen?
Yeah, you can, of course, if you find that the figures are not tallying, that means that any of the people around that station has played it. And this is what normally happens at night.
Someone has played it?
Yes.
Okay.
This normally happens at night. At night, they know that the managers or what are not at the station. So if they get access to the keys of the pump, they pray. They play with that thing and they make some money. By morning, then they return it. So in case you find such a challenge, such a problem, you can address it. If you can access the manager of the station or the station management, you can address it to them. And in case you are not helped, then you have to address it to us.
UNBS?
UNBS or Ministry of Energy.
All right.
Whoever you address it to, we shall swing into action and correct that one.
Will I get compensation if maybe I went ahead and I still purchased it?
Now that's why we are coming to you, advising you to be keen.
So there will be no compensation. I'll just be a whistleblower.
No.
Yeah, but when the vehicle get damaged, then you're in trouble. These people may not compensate you.
No, we shall not compensate you.
Sure.
So, and if my engine knocks because I consumed adulterated fuel from one, outlet, will I be compensated? What should I do?
Now, there are other channels through which you can get that. Because we have helped so many people who come that I took fuel from this place and my vehicle is misbehaving, then we immediately swing into action. Then we reach at the station. If we find that fuel was really bad, then you can go to court, and for us we shall be witnesses in court. Because we give you certificates and everything.
All right.
And people have been helped through that way.
Okay.
Well, understanding the fuel quality and of course for people that use fuel every single day, they want to understand the quality, the prices, how you're cheated and how it's being transported. Are we facing any dangers? And it's very good to have you, Engineer Kafero, here with us, together with Mr. Charles Agaba from UNBS. You guys are doing a very good job. We appreciate the job. Well done.
From Ministry of Energy.
Ministry of Energy as well. Thank you very much, because you all have come together to make sure that we enjoy the fuels that we are buying with our hard-earned money. Joining us this morning is Engineer Kafero Sechitoriko, the Chairperson, Parliament's Committee on Infrastructure, and Mr. Charles Agaba, an inspector at the Ministry, helping us understand fuels in this country. And right about now, let's join up with Stephen Bide, who is out in Bakuli, to update us on how the traffic is in Bakuli. Stephen Bide, good morning. And how is the traffic in Bakuli?
Thank you, David. Good morning to you, David, and whoever is watching right now. This is Stephen Mbide coming to you live from Bakuli, just right here at the traffic lights along the Namirembe Road. And for now, as you drive from coming from Masaka Road, as you approach Mengo Trading Center, that's where you'll be finding some delay because there are vehicles branching off, joining Rubaga Road through Kabaka and Jaga Road. And as you drive towards the junction leading you towards Namilembe Diocese, that's where you'll be slowing down, connecting towards this traffic lights of Bakuli. But the good thing is, as you drive towards the Old Kampala Secondary School, less of congestion until you reach the Old Kampala Police Station. As you connect towards Gaddafi Road or Rashidi Kamis Road, that is where it is heavy traffic flow, joining either the city center or connecting towards the Makerere University main gate through Gaddafi Road. And then as you join Wandegeya traffic lights there, you'll be delayed longer. And for you coming from the other side of Hoima Road, as you join the Bakuli traffic lights, you'll be losing